Hey everybody, it's Norm from Tested, and we're here in Adam's workshop because we have a very special guest back in the studio, Chris Barnardo from the Wand Company. Chris, welcome back. If you probably have seen these videos in the past. Chris is, of course, Wand Company, purveyors of incredible prop replicas, collectibles from the worlds of Fallout and Star Trek. I gotta tell you, since you were here last visiting, you showed us prototypes of the tricorder project that you worked on, the Fallout, the Fallout Pip-Boy, TV Pip-Boy, and those products have since come out. They're some of our favorite things to play with. And I know it's what you designed them for.
Favorite things to design and make.
And you have so much fun. When I hold on to the tricorder and I hold on to the Pip-Boy, one, it's interactive, not just something that sits on my shelf. In fact, I have like a quick disconnect charger, I'll tell you, that I use just so it stays powered and I can quickly pull it off and play with it. I think about all the effort you and your team put into the design, into the packaging.
We love it. There's no reason not to do it. And life wouldn't be worth it if we were working in a job where we weren't doing that, putting that detail in. I mean, to us, that's the whole thing.
And you're here to share some of that joy because you have a new product coming out. You just announced it this past weekend with Bethesda at their big Fallout Las Vegas, Nevada event.
Good Springs, it's so cool. If you haven't gone this year, you should definitely go next year for certain.
This is another Pip-Boy.
Yeah.
But there's
so many Pip-Boys out there.
Again, it's kind of like a tricorder, kind of like a phaser in that every iteration of the franchise.
Bring something to it.
Exactly.
It really does, and it evokes a kind of a memory of those games that you really loved, or if it's a tricorder, the episodes, the series that you loved. So and it's a rich vein that we can tap into.
Well, interestingly, for the Wand Company, you guys, your journey through the Pip-Boys has been non-linear. Right, you went through like Fallout 76.
Weirdly, we're working our way backwards.
Right? The TV show, which is a derivative of the games, but bespoke, made based on the hero prop that was used, and that show had its requirements. This is from Fallout 3, arguably one of the most popular of the Fallout games.
Yes, I think so. And you can see from the design, it's a really well thought through piece. It's been lovely to work on it. It's got the bigger screen. Some of the aspects of the design are just really lovely.
So run me through some of the top line features. We'll dive deep later because you've also brought some prototypes. I'm personally really interested in like the product development of this, but features first.
Okay, features first. Well, first of all, the main look of it is to make this screen look like a CRT. So part of that is the geometric design of the screen in the front, but also what the software looks like and how the screen works when you turn it on. So if I just turn this on, there's a couple of things you might notice, is that the lights at the bottom glow up slowly as if there's some kind of
tube light in there, right?
Yep. Then you've got this large screen. It has the kind of glitching. You can see there, it just glitched a little bit. So it's as if it's a CRT, and a lot of young people won't know because they didn't have CRTs, right? But I did. I grew up with them. They had this whine when they come on, the sort of flyback converters. They had thousands of volts inside, tens of thousands of volts. Dragging a beam backwards and forwards amazingly. So obviously that hasn't got this. This is a LCD, but we have to give all those effects as if it's got it. It has various things you can adjust it. So there are modes where you can adjust it so that when you tap it, it distorts slightly.
Oh,
or it goes into vertical
accelerometer
hold.
inside that's reactive.
It has, and actually it's got an accelerometer in it, which is a really cool thing because it does one of the other main things that it has, which is this sort of tilt to get radiation effect, which is really cool, which I'll show you in a minute.
Okay.
It's got over 2,500 or 2,200 entries in all the sort of perks and all the different things that you get in the game. So all of these, the special there, I'm looking around from the side, the skills, hundreds of those different things. You can adjust the amount of each one. So you could, from your game, you could go and you could put all the perks that you want and all the weapons and all the tools and things you've got. You could go and put them in.
So I'll tell the audience out there, I had the pleasure of chatting with your programmer, Gordon.
Well, we've got a team.
Right?
And
some of the insights, and I actually have a separate video you'll be able to find, link below, from our Tested Team site. Chatting with Gordon, I learned that it's as simple or as commodity as electronics that you can get. There's a lot of complexity that you're increasing the amount of functionality because you guys went from basically cycling through animations or videos or pre-baked in scenes that were still navigatable, right? You can you have 2 tiers of navigation to increasingly more dynamic animations.
That's what I like. I like the things where you can go in here, for example, in this health, the condition, you can roll this wheel. You can see that we're changing the condition.
And it's not a matter of just like you've just stored in a dozen different frames that you're cycling past. You are
actually enabling those things. Yeah. So
in the code.
This was the radiation thing I'm telling you about, and this is so cool. So at the
that's a dynamic.
It'll be on your arm. It's sitting there.
Yes.
If I tilt this over.
Oh, I see. Okay, the number's rising, and I hear it has that click.
Norman, you're so radioactive.
I know. It's what my wife tells
but if I do that to myself, I'm hardly radioactive at all. So that's a really cool thing. That is, of course, if you just hold that still so I can see it, that is, of course, a cheat.
Yeah.
It does actually have a radiation sensor in it, though. It's got an FM radio.
Oh, like the other one?
Yeah. So, in fact, we've got an antenna with this one, but it's got a mode where you can sense how strong the signal is.
Because in the actual radio.
Yeah, and of course, radio waves are radiation. They're not ionizing radiation, but they are electromagnetic radiation.
Sure,
so it has a real radiation sensor in it.
Yes,
so that is pretty cool.
Measuring the strength of the radio signal that you might be getting.
And it shows that on a graph. Yeah. But you can tune into radio stations and stuff like that. I mean, I could,
there are menus upon menus. I assume that in working closely with Bethesda, they provided assets. You guys studied all the different menus that were in Fallout 3.
They've given us access to the game. We've taken the stuff straight. We pulled it straight from the game, the files, and then recoded it for this. So each one, let's just move to a different. We'll do this one here. So as we scroll down, you can see all the pictures are in there.
Yeah. Inventory.
All the inventory. So and you can adjust the amounts. You can add. If I click on this, I can then go and add inventory from any one of these. Say that one that isn't there at the moment. I put a certain amount in here.
Yeah.
And then I click, and that has now added it to my list of inventory.
I'm going to say something that Adam has always said. It's it's about delivering for your customer and for the fans an experience that they've only had in their mind or here virtually playing a game. And aesthetically, it's as close as it can be. And we'll talk about the physical build of this, right? But someone going to a convention wearing this, right, other people aren't going to know what's in the menus. No. But the tactile aspect of scrolling through and adding and changing an inventory
to make it match their fantasy. It's like you've dipped into the game and pulled this thing out, lock, stock, and barrel, out of the game for people to basically then interact with and use in the way they would. It's got the maps on there. It also, what we're looking at the moment, we're looking at it in Fallout 3 mode, but it has Fallout New Vegas
mode. Okay.
And when it's there, it's all different. It's just the new. So it's really like two products in one. You've got the whole New Vegas. Let me just see if we can get there quickly. Let's see if I.
Oh, I saw the little shift. And that is a dynamic animation overlaid on top of what the screen is showing.
Well, we'll do that in a minute. So, but here we're in Fallout 3. So you get the little audio ident there.
This is so delightful.
In you go. Now I've got to stand up because I'm trying to look around and see what we've got here. But we've got
even the way the menu glows.
Yes. We've got the display setting where we can change the color. Obviously, at the moment, we're in the default color for Fallout, but we can change it to white or blue. We can do the default. Where we go, let's go back. And then we can set, for example, the CRT jitter. So it sort of like jitters about. We've got the glitch on tap, which is pretty cool. At the moment, set to off. If we set it to persistent.
Oh, right. There goes the little glitch.
Yeah. Then if we tap it, you can see. Also, occasionally, when you tap it, it will start the vertical hold will go. We'll see that in a minute. And then you have to tap it to stop it. So once you've got an accelerometer in there, you can do things like step counting. You can do a whole ton of things. And you can do these dynamic effects where you move it around for it to do stuff.
I love that surprising delight of like in the tricorder, random events will happen. Things that you have to discover with use.
That take a while. So therefore, you can never really know those things are going to happen. It has a few other things that I'll just go to the back, for example. At the moment, it has also as I said, it has an antenna that you can plug in, which it'll come with, but you can also plug your own headphones in there, and it's a headphone jack. Unlike the last one, it has a very bright torch.
Okay, a little light, yeah.
Can't really see that in the daylight. We're in here, but trust me, that is too bright to look at.
Yeah. So that's, again, illuminating as you'll be
as
wearing
you're walking,
it. That's your find the bathroom in the middle of the night mode.
It is
right?
indeed. It is indeed. Now, let me just quickly go back. Let's go back to put the... So, oh, there you can see it's glitching there rather. That's better. Sorry. You know what? Well, there was, look, right. I don't know how, obviously, most people watching this, if they're younger than a certain age, won't know about CRTs. And equipment in the old days, you banged it to make it work.
You got to blow on the ports, you got to shake it a little bit, unplug, replug it in.
You see people hammering the top of their television.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we're turn it off and turn it on again. Yeah. Turn it off, turn it on again, reboot it. But in the old days, it was basically move it around and put it in the corner of the room and hope it works. And if it didn't, bang it on the top. I don't know what that did. Presumably, there was some electronics inside that wasn't completely touched or something. But anyway, funny to replicate it in something actually that could work perfectly and never have that. If your phone started doing that, you would send it back, wouldn't you? You genuinely would.
Oh, it's a feature. It's a feature. It's a feature of nostalgia.
It's a feature.
And I was talking about this off camera. It really, I didn't make that connection, but there's a whole culture of what's called cassette futurism. You know, in the 80s, as the design of electronics moved right from the analog era to more digital era. We're talking about, the Walkman or, the Watchman that Sony had, right? With a little bit tiny TV or the production design of like Alien.
But do you remember when they had actual buttons that you pressed?
Yes, depressible buttons and real
dials. That did a thing.
Exactly.
Whereas then you went from the button thing, you went to basically a button that when you press it, when you turn this off, which I'll do here, I'll show you when it turns off, look. When you turn it off, it's not actually turning it off. It's telling the chip to stop basically doing whatever it does. When you turn it on, that's not like a great big switch for light. But in the old days, there were great big switches. Let's turn it back on again.
Yeah, that's why things needed to warm up and boot up. And,
and then maybe it would you'd take a bit of time for it to warm up, as you say. Things to warm up.
Capturing that feel, I think, is something that you guys strive to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's got to be authentic because you see any little chinks in that, then it spoils any cracks in the arm or whatever. It spoils the look of it and the feel of it, and also it breaks the sort of magic, the sort of I don't know, the spell.
Well, we're not going to dive down in every single nook and cranny and menu. There's so much.
We'd be here all day.
Yes, and we
genuinely would.
I would love, to discover it on my own as you've been shipping this. But I do want to talk about the look and the feel, right?
Okay.
The physical manufacture of this, because this is a paint master, like a handcrafted prototype.
I have painted this.
You have personally painted this?
I have personally painted this. Okay. Yeah, I can say that. I have painted the silver on. In the real thing, this will be sprayed in a special booth. This color, it's actually very close to this. This was the color that I put on. The color we're using is Pantone 7771. People can go and look that up if they want to.
That's the version of green, Pantone 7771, if we're saying that correctly.
We are
that is official Fallout green.
Well, that is the green that Istvan Pelli from Bethesda said, I would like you to use that color.
Okay.
And it's very close to this, very close. I think if you put the two in two different rooms and walk between the two, you probably wouldn't know.
But this is a as-issued product. It's not going to come weathered like the TV.
No, it's going to. There will be one or two things you can do to it. It will be as issued. You can weather it.
Yeah.
And I would suggest if you do that, very delicate amount of just a little bit of dirt in the corners. But what you can do also is because this whole front piece is metal, you could of course chip it off.
Yeah. Are you doing multiple coats of paint? Like what will the undercoat?
There will be. There'll be probably an acid etch undercoat, and then there'll be the top coat. It has to be quite thin. We haven't. These buttons actually have to move really freely. There's this one at the side here, and in fact, I didn't tell you, but there's Atomic Command. The game is in there already.
An actual playable game.
Oh yes.
With these controls.
And it is very cool. It's very, very cool. We'll show you in a minute.
Okay. But like your TV Pip-Boy, this whole front piece, as Adam and I disassembled ours and repainted ours, well, this is a die cast. This is a metal piece, and so same here. This is a metal piece. This is plastic.
Yes.
To get to this design, to get to as you do all like the product design, can we take a look at what that journey
let's take the journey. We'll just I left that here because you can see the comparison between these two.
Yes, I'm going to just slide these.
Let's just slide them around.
Yep.
So when we do the design, obviously the design starts in CAD. It starts here as a 3D drawing. We went to the original high poly model that you don't see in the game. So obviously there's one designed by Bethesda and the design team there. So we went to the high poly model. We then look at the game because that's what everyone has seen. So there are some things here, for example, in the, you'll notice on the back of this one that there are no screws or anything on the back. This was the original first block model that we made from our, the CAD. This one, if you look at the back, where we can see, you can see there's a few little rivets and screws which came from the high poly model because we could see that they were there. Obviously, you can see this one. We don't have the plug in it yet. We don't have the light in there or this.
So this is it's a 3D print that you've painted together to give you again the relative size as you're sizing it up and down because. In the game, it's a virtual dimension.
Well, there were some accurate dimensions that we've copied, and we have basically gone on the thing. We've taken the arm in the game. We've measured from the fingertip to the elbow. We've taken that. So there are some things that you can take from. What this does and what a 3D model does when you print it out is it gives you something you can hold in your hand because it's very hard to see it on the screen.
We tell that story all the time. You scales, like as much as you can make it look photorealistic, it will never communicate what the experience is, and for manufacturing specifically, right? What you need until you have a tangible
And one of the hard things is driving the size will be the type of screen that you buy.
Right.
So you see, modern things are all the 16:9 or they're wide look letterbox type screens. These screens for this, they're all old-fashioned CRT,
4x3.
3x4, 4x3. So that determines what size screen you can get, because otherwise that would look, and you can see the screen really works. So that's really good. The other thing we need to do is work out the stand, and that's something great because we get to actually design the stand. Whereas this, we're designing the stand. I do like that.
Yeah.
So this is quite a novel look. The thing that we started from the beginning, and we'll talk about this a little bit more in a minute, is we wanted to make this compact as possible for shipping. So we designed the stand to basically fit inside the end so that when it went in its box, there wasn't, because the previous one had this great big stand and it really made the box quite large. So this was really a thought about let's make the stand compact.
But you're keeping that same language of it being that brushed aluminum base, so the same curve, edges and profiles.
It's definitely a solid aluminum machined with this sort of resin part on top of it. In fact, the one that we're using, because we didn't want to scratch it, is made, the resins are it's a rubber modified resin, so it's a little bit softer when you put the thing in it.
You're also telling me because there are lights for the charging, the lights actually cast on your stand.
Should we quickly show that?
Oh, okay, we're jumping a little ahead, but
we're jumping a bit ahead. You want to go there. I'm just, by the way, this is just a little charging block that I've got. I brought it because it'd be a bit quicker. If we plug this in, you'll see that the things underneath light up and they cast light on the stand.
I love that.
Do you know what? So many times when we do something, I say, I'd like the stand to light up. I want the stand to do something. Or maybe we can shine a light down. The great thing about this is, here you can see, is this is the LCD on the front. Behind the LCD in this plane, we have the PCB. It's quite a large one. It's very neatly made inside. We've got all these bits like this plug socket, the various sockets and things, and they're all daughter boards with plugs, as you know from taking the other one apart. It's very neat. This has been designed to be manufactured. But we had this edge of the PCB, and I was thinking, well, we were all thinking, why don't we just put some lights on there that could shine down at the bottom? Because there's the edge of the PCB's right there. We might as well put the LEDs on it. I don't know if you've seen, we haven't got a PCB to show you, but LEDs these days are the size of sugar, a piece of sugar grain.
And you have it embedded, soldered right on the edge of the PCBs, no additional. As you manufacture PCB, it just comes. You can have it.
And they're tiny. I mean tiny. You need a magnifying glass to see them even. It's incredible. And that's how bright they are. Yeah. And the beauty of it is it shines down onto the stand. I'll just take that out. There you go. You can put it back on the stand.
Okay.
So that's
lovely.
That's cool. Now you were saying about this, what do we do from this stage?
Yes.
Once we've made this 3D model, you can see here, we're starting to think about where the part lines will be. Where, obviously, when you do a 3D print, you can have anything you like. It can have balls inside balls, or you can have things going through stuff that you wouldn't be able to get in real life. When you make something, you have to make it so that it can come out of a tool. So this whole front is metal. I'll just bring this I'll bring this now to show because
That's a casting.
this is the casting as it comes out of the tool. Now, obviously, if there's any overhangs, that is something here poking out this way, this just won't fall out of the tool. There has to be a special part of the tool that moves out of the way. It's called a slider. But the more of those you put in, the more expensive it becomes and the more complicated and prone to error. So
this is not just a simple two-part tool that sandwiches together. It's a whole order of operations.
Yes,
For it to work. Assembly.
Also, what you can see here, I don't know if you can see, the camera can catch that, or you can see it. There's what you call flash.
Yep.
So what happens is one part of the tool, say, comes here, and then the other part, one's a cavity and one's the core, to be fair. So the core comes in, the cavity's here, sits on top, and where they meet, they press together with an enormous pressure, and then this molten metal is squirted in under huge pressure, in fact, through here. And it flows out through these little channels, and then through some very thin areas, which in a minute we're going to snap this out if we can. I brought it all the way here to show you. And you can see here where there's this little bit of flash where the two parts of the tool didn't meet properly, or the liquid metal is just squirted in between. That all has to be machined out. Has to be taken out. When you've made this, not only do you break this off, and someone has to do that.
Extra operations.
Yes. You then have to sandblast it or polish it. These pieces areas, this piece here, for example, has to be machined out because that's where the knob's going to go.
Is that an automated process?
It is a CNC
it's a jig,
process.
So they put
put
in a
this on a
jig.
machine. This massive wheel comes out with all these tools on it. It goes in. Well, you say that. I saw it. It was quite slow when I saw it. I was thinking, how are they going to do thousands of those? Also, where there are holes in the back, you can see these, what they call bosses. These are where basically, the screws fit in. So a machine comes and cuts the thread.
Threads it.
Each one.
It's not in the mold. The threading is machined in.
No. There are some molds, very expensive ones, where the tool unscrews and it leaves. But mostly, no. You are cutting threads in there, each one. You can see where we're resting the screen, where we're resting the PCB, all the little bits and pieces. This is a work of art.
As you're talking to the factory that's going to deliver on this and their expertise, do they give you a range of how complex a mold can be, how many post operations? Is it just time and
It's cost.
It's all cost, right?
They can do mostly anything.
Yeah.
There are certain things. Obviously, when we're designing this, we are imagining the tool coming out of here and the tool coming out here. We've got to imagine that. That's how the designer, that's why, for example, this top piece here is a part that slides on. And it slides across the join. That in itself is a nice part of the design because it allows you to have something that goes across the divide, which hides the divide up slightly. It's an old designer's trick.
I'm talking to a Robco designer now.
Yes.
Right? You take off the Wand Company product design hat and you have to put yourself in the world of making a real Pip-Boy. A real product.
And you can see here where we've drawn lines around where are the various, maybe there's going to have to be a special tool coming out here. This part here, which is drawing, we thought this was going to be where you might press to open it. But in actual fact, when you can see, got to get that in the right place. You can see this one, the catch is really neat. Obviously, the real thing doesn't have a catch. It just bolts on your arm at the beginning of the game. But we've flared the catch into this part here. And so this current prototype, well, first off, doesn't have a spring, but the real thing will have a spring here, and then it'll open like that. And we've got a
familiar padding.
Familiar inside, nice memory foam,
Yes.
and our own specially made cast hinge with bushes, soft bushes in it.
But you're not moving any wires across the hinge this time. Yes.
So amazing.
Yes.
That was we were stuck with that design before, but this one, no, that's made it simpler to make.
Yes.
And I like that.
Again, this is the lessons learned from iterating on product, and you can go further in that didn't need to have to be part of the die-cast part, so you put extra effort there. And,
I think that's what I'm saying about if fans want to weather it, of course, because this is all metal, they can chip the front, they can chip bits of it off, or they can sand them off with Scotch-Brite or whatever they want to do. And really the back bit that you don't see so much is made in resin.
Okay, Chris, so that's the front plate. And then you have some other injection molded samples.
Yeah, so this is made in die casting. You can see the sprue there where the metal goes down and into it. These are made by injection molding. And I'll just get you a couple here. I brought these with me to show you. So in the machine, This is the, as I said, the core. This is the cavity. It's a huge machine that weighs, like 20 tons or whatever. And it comes together, clamp, and then plastic is injected down here. Yep. What's this called? The sprue. And round here to these, what they call gates. These are the gates. So we're just going to break one off. You can see. So.
And it comes out optically clear.
Oh, yes. This tool is polished, glossy and shiny.
On the inside.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Even a fingerprint on it and you'll see that. Yeah. When the plastic is injected in, it's under, huge pressure. It's water thin. And this thing shuts with so much strength that the plastic doesn't squirt out. Yeah. So that's the screen. This is made in a special kind of material called tritan, which is a polyester.
I was going to ask about, you want durability, it needs to have the optical qualities.
It has to be, and that's not, polycarbonate's what they use for like motorbike helmet visors, but it's not as clear as tritan. They use that for things like glass, drinking glasses that are made to look like glass and jugs and things. It's a polyester, it's really nice. It's expensive, but it's lovely. Yeah. It's got a nice sound to it. This is the buttons that you can see at the bottom. Yep, they're channels, basically. Yeah, they are light pipes. Yeah, so light is going to be behind here. Again, you can see this is the sprue. Yep. And then if I twist this off, that's what an operative will be doing. Then you've got these buttons. You can see they're bendy. It's a compliant mechanism? Yeah, so it just fits. You can see the holes here, these two holes, these four holes. It fits over. Right. Well, you can see if we just hold this up. Yeah. And that registers, that whole... Yes, this goes in here like this. Registers in there. And they fit over those. Yes. I can do this quickly. They fit over those. So you can see here they're fitting over those. Yeah. In fact, this is a very clever part of the design. The screen drops in first, then the LCD goes in, and this holds the LCD in. One of the problems we had in production before is making sure all the parts are there. This cannot be left out. It has to be holding the LCD in place, and that's a really nice feature. And then it's screwed down, the PCB, the next thing that goes on is screwed on the top of it. In fact, the thing that screws on top of this is the cover that covers inside here that's clear. So that goes on next, and then it gets screwed down. So it's just one of the little bit of the jigsaw that fits together. You can see those coming through there like that. Is that all insight and design that comes from you and your team, or is that the factory coming in with their expertise and saying, we recommend using one of your injection molded parts as a way to hold down the part, or what's like, how much is that back and forth? Well, that for us, it's, I would say 90% what we do. Yeah. So we think of the catches, we think of the mechanisms, we design this. Yeah. The factory then come along and do amazing things. I mean, they design the tools. Right. So we've designed the part. Yes. When I do design, I don't tend to put draft in everything. I just design it how I want it, and then it goes to the factory and they say, one degree here, it needs to release this way, that sort of thing. Exactly. So I do what other people call designer CAD, which is basically this is how I'd like it to look. This is what I want it to happen. Yeah. It's why the cycle of iteration is so important. As much as you think you have it locked down, you're always going to learn something by having a prototype made, by holding something in your hand. Practice makes perfect. If it didn't, there'd be no point practicing. There'd be no skill in it. Okay, so we jumped a little bit to the end to the manufactured parts, but you go from a first early dimensional prototype that you can draw your mold lines and separate your... show it to Bethesda. Oh yes, I flew out to Virginia. Yeah. Hey guys, what do you think of this? Yeah. Wow, we love it. Yeah. You look at this and think, this looks good. Wait till you see the finished thing. And this is so yeah, we went from here. So here to, what's this? This looks a little more finished. You have actual mechanisms, right? And yeah, you do. This is a very expensive step forward, actually. And you might argue that you don't always need to do this. But this one, I might be able to plug it in. It might still work. Is the first time that you see the working thing. It may not, of course, work. No. Operational prototype. No, it's meant to. It's probably got old software in it, or I've taken the connections out. This one, yeah. What you would do with this one is you would try it on your arm, see if any of the catches work. I mean, this one had a big spring in it, and in fact, it caused massive panic to us because this didn't really lock down properly, and we were thinking this is our catch design. But this is still a 3D print. It's not representative. No, it's a 3D print. Yeah, it's not representative of what's going to come out from the tooling. Yeah. Well, no, but the fact is that this is what we call a works like, looks like sample. Yeah. Okay. So really, I was interested in, this can cost $10,000 or $20,000 to make. It's a very expensive step. And when you get it, you're really excited. It's the first time you're going to see the working thing. You're going to feel whether, I mean, when you get things, like when you use a mouse and you use the wheel, and the old ones had wheels, and you click on the top, you just expect it to work. But that is a very subtle design sort of tolerances. So the question was, would our button work, and would it work as a button?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is our own design.
Yeah.
So homegrown. Also, because we didn't design this from scratch, we're trying to copy it from a game. We've got a speaker here, and we've got the PCB right next to it, and there's all, you can see in here how congested it is. If I just go back to the molding, you've got the bit where the wheel fits, it's right here, right next to this, and you've got the clicker button on this side, and then you've got inside here, you've got the sensor that senses when the wheel's going around. So all of those things have got to fit in that little space. By no means is it all going to work. Yeah. And it's only when you first see this, when it all comes together, and you think, right, the PC, yeah, that sounds nice. And then you've got the little click, you can feel the click, and you think, yeah, it all hangs together. Also, it has to be made. It's not good enough just to have some magical thing. It's got to actually be dropped into place and made. So all those things need to be done. So this is where you get to this stage, yeah.
And then from there, one of the most interesting prototypes, interesting looking ones. This is cool. Okay, I see it's a nice 3D print. It's
this is straight out of the machine.
Yeah.
And we didn't do any finishing to it.
It's not that same form factor. Tell me what this is.
This is the module that the software guys will have, because this is the first time anyone's ever seen this in one piece. Literally a couple of weeks ago, before I started my little trip around and come to see you, this did not exist as a whole thing. It was this and these other models.
Right. It was in the computer. You had your expensive look and feel prototype, and then you had a development kit.
Yeah, and we make our own dev kit.
Make a dev kit that's like as much a real product in itself.
Well, to be
I
fair,
love it. It has its full enclosure and everything.
Yeah, and it's got because this.
It's not just an exposed board with wires with an LCD.
No, and that, it does. To be fair, it does start to that, but it even has the reset button visible. You can get to. Some of the things aren't quite right. You know, they're not in the right places and stuff. We use different knobs to make. This was also testing whether this would work. I'll plug this in. We'll see how this one works. Shall we just have a little go at plugging? Do you want to hold it?
Yes. I love this as an artifact of
yeah. So process. this is the whole thing for 6 months. This is all the software guys had. They just had this. They, we want to do. I don't know if this will actually work. Oh yeah, there you go. It's got various. This one doesn't have, for example, it doesn't have the radiation, because at this point we hadn't enabled the accelerometer. The lights glow when they do things. You can see that this is a version of the software. You can see actually, if anyone who's cute looking at this will see that there's much less menus here, because obviously that's a hugely further advanced. Now we're working with this, but this is where we started with the software development.
What a journey.
Yeah, it's very, very, so that one's got no battery in it. I'll just take it out. One thing I wanted to say about this, we obviously, with the previous one, fans were taking out the SD card and doing various things. We've increased the size of the SD card that will work with it to 32 gigabytes. Oh, okay. We won't be, I don't think we'll be shipping it with 32 gigabytes, but we've also made it so that you have to just open it, move the battery to one side, and you can take the SD card out. You don't have to take it apart. So people can get in there and do stuff. All in all, some of the factors we've worked on to get the design, we've found that there were difficult areas of the other one. We've refined them on this one. It comes with a spacer. Now, it's slightly longer. Should we put it on my arm?
Sure.
Let's put it on my arm. Yeah. Now, I don't know whether I've got average size arms, I guess. Let me just clip it around here.
But you're saying if it's loose, then you have
No, if it's tight.
If it's too tight, you can actually space out the clamp.
Yeah. So there we go. So there it is fitting on my arm. Yeah. You obviously can take out the cuff like we did before, but I will lean over here because there's another thing that we haven't talked about, which is the, should we say, the display case.
Sure.
So this is like a transit case.
Yep.
Bear in mind, I'm showing you this. This has just been machined out of a block of polypropylene.
Yep.
Polypropylene.
Polypropylene, okay.
Oh, yes. This is going to be molded polypropylene, blown. So it's EPP, it's called expanded polypropylene. It's the sort of thing that you find in your car trunk which has the tire iron in it.
Oh, okay.
You know, that very, very robust material. It's very light.
Yep.
I'll just tell you that this weighs 1/3 more than the previous one. It's 1/3 bigger, and yet the box it comes in is 1/3 smaller and weighs half as much.
Because the stand fits in the side.
Yeah, and all those things. So we really thought about that. This whole thing only weighs 100 grams. It's very little material in it. So this is your transit case. And of course, in a minute, we'll put the Pip-Boy in there and you'll see. It comes with the antenna wire, which will help. It's got a USB and this, which is a novel thing that we've done this time.
Yeah, what is this?
This is a spacer. So this is the,
an adapter,
basically, so what I'll do is I'll just take this off. If my arm is bigger and just taking the cup out doesn't help, then I've got this that I can clip on here. It's pretty solid. Let me just do that.
And the radius, the circumference still works. It's still a circle.
Oh yes. Well, it's not a circle anymore. Right. It obviously couldn't be a circle because we can only extend one part of it. Right. Look at this. I'm making a right dog's dinner of this. It does clip on. Here we go. But
you have a curve. It's curved. It's a curved piece.
It still fits with the original catch.
Hey, there it goes. Yeah.
So let's just, there we go. So what that's done is that's added this 2 centimeters and 3/4 of an inch or nearly an inch to make it bigger. The catch will still work. It still fits on the stand because obviously it's going on this part of the stand. So the stand still completely works with it. So you can leave it attached. There we go. And actually what's cool is this little thing, which you may have seen in the video because we've been resting on it, is a tool. It's a hex tool, Robco hex tool. And that is used you get some screws with it to screw, although this is on really, to be fair, you can tell it's gripped on really tightly. You can make it permanent by screwing a screw in there and putting a screw in there. And this is the tool that does that.
Built into the stand.
So yeah, that was a little fun thing.
But also works as a piece of the display.
Yes. Of course. Why not?
It is so delightful. Chris, this is so much fun. I know these products take years to work on, through all the approvals, this is just a small sampling. So much of it happens in your head.
Hundreds more of things to do and look at that we can even go through in this short time.
I see parts. The tools must be made. Right.
The tools are made.
Tools are made. So what is the roadmap for getting this?
The roadmap is officially, we're going to be shipping it in June next year. Okay. We are at a very advanced stage, as you can see, and if we can improve on that, we will. But the official line is currently June, but there is very little chance to zero chance that it will be longer than that, and there's every chance it'll be quicker than that. But that's our aim.
All right.
But yeah, it's. I know we shouldn't be talking about money because it's not a thing really, but it is going to be more expensive than the other one. So it'll be something like the $300 mark.
Got it. All right. Well, thank you so much, Chris. It's a pleasure in the world tour you have in showcasing these. Thank you for making us one of your stops.
Yeah, no.
We love picking your brain about the joy that you have in this product development process. And I know Fallout fans will be very happy to see all the love and care. And these are products that live on beyond shipping, right? Just like this model, I know people have been upgrading,
and we have another upgrade coming for it soon, where you'll have an ID card on it. You'll be able to put some lists and things on it. So more upgrades coming for this one. This one will be constantly supported. We hope to put more games on it.
Appreciate you so much. With links in the description for people who want to learn more about the Wand Company and your wonderful Pip-Boys. Chris, it's a pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you.